Hi, everybody. This is my podcast, Past or Present, and What Works in Literacy. Today, we'll be discussing the tension between the guiding principles of the 21st century literacy education and literacy instruction in an industrial model of schooling. So, when we first start talking about the industrial model, we think about what our parents and our grandparents really went through when they were in primary school and high school. And even in my early years of primary school, and definitely throughout high school, I was subjected to this style of teaching and learning. It's the baseline, the teacher speaks and the students listen. It's the old fashioned thinking that the student will learn because the teacher tells you something. And if you don't learn, it's not the teacher's fault, it's yours. It takes away the will and motivation to learn. And most children don't want to learn by sitting there and copying and writing off the whiteboard. This also detaches from Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, which is a theory that students have 7 different strengths in intelligence. The problem is with the industrial model, it only targets one of these strengths for children, which is the linguistic intelligence, which is recognized as the ability to effectively use language to express oneself rhetorically or poetically, and remember information sensitively to spoken and written language, and the ability to learn languages and the capacity to use language to achieve a certain goal. I compare this to myself, where I know I'm a bodily learner, where for me to get out and do things helps me improve my learning, will help me improve my literacy skills. And for other students, it might be in the form of dance or science. This leads me on to my next point, NAPLAN. NAPLAN is a test that all students have to do in year 3, 5, 7, and 9. It tests the type of skills that are essential for every child to progress through school and life. The test covers skills in reading, writing, spelling, grammar, and punctuation, and numeracy. The assessments are undertaken every year in the second full week in May. It is a test that you would have to probably answer half multiple choice questions, half read something, answer it, what's the answer. And the results from this test actually determine where a school grades amongst other schools in Victoria. I found this very interesting as I work in a school currently in North Melbourne, and I went to look at their results with the NAPLAN test. And in some areas, spelling, grammar, numeracy, they actually fared above average. This came as quite a shock to me because I know when I work there, a lot of the things we work on most of the time is spelling and is grammar. So if this is what we're doing, it's either other schools doing it really wrong, or from what I think the NAPLAN results are actually flawed. I think that comparing a school with other schools is actually really important to see where the growth is and what we need to do to become better and improve. But I don't think going off a multiple choice answer where children can get 3 or 4 lucky hits, lucky right answers, is the way to do it. And I think we really need to look at the guiding principles of the 21st century in literacy to really get a feel of what we need to do to change this. There are 6 different guiding principles, but I think the most important principle when we're comparing it with NAPLAN is principle number 4. Literacy practices are learnt through inquiry. I think it's really important as educators we use this inquiry model to enrich our children's learning and to empower them. I remember in year 5, I was told, go do passion project about your favourite subject. I chose soccer. I read books, websites, and studied about soccer. I wrote down information, which then improved my spelling and grammar. So in one inquiry exercise, you're hitting 4 literacy targets right there. And more importantly, we're also recognising the Australian curriculum, examining literature, which states, recognising that the ideas in literacy texts can be conveyed from different viewpoints, which can lead to different kinds of interpretations and responses. I think using this inquiry model, we really need to re-innovate the way we test students and compare them to the rest of the children in Australia. I don't think it's fair that we go through the schooling year now teaching this inquiry-based model, really emphasizing on why it's important to us, teachers, parents, and the students, and then we go back and test them on an old-fashioned industrial-based model. This is why it conflicts in the 21st century, and I think it's important that it gets changed, and it needs to be changed ASAP. Thank you for listening to my podcast.